investigating.
Yeah.
But again, maybe our council remembers, my recollection was at the time that we were told that there would be no retention of data, that this was a dynamic system, and the only data that is retained is what's in the database. The chief, at the last meeting, in response to the question about the bank card readers and the running of a database to see if the car had come through town, if they could spot it, indicated that data is retained for 90 days. And I guess the first question is it agreed that my recollection is correct that we were told that there would be no retention of this data?
I don't have any recollection.
I went to the minutes and I found no record of it at all. I couldn't even find a motion at which it was adopted, just that we sent somebody to train.
To train. I remember it, but I can't recall. You know, I remember the other meeting when he said 3 months.
Right.
That was the last meeting. But if you wait till next, Chief's on vacation, you wait till next meeting, we can address that to the chief.
And he was pretty clear. My understanding from the last meeting was pretty clear that it was 90 days.
I think that's what I recall that, but
right.
I can't remember the other time.
But I am concerned that the data is being retained even for 90 days. Now, I understand for law enforcement purposes why that's maybe considered a good thing. From a civil liberties point of view, it's not such a good thing.
Yeah, I can't answer you because, Chief's not here.
It basically means everybody is under surveillance at all times, at all places. And that the police then are retaining a record of who's coming and going in the village. And I don't think, my own personal opinion is that I'm not comfortable with that from a civil liberties point of view. And I'm not sure that the village should be comfortable with it.
And it's, as I said, we'll address the chief when he's here because I can remember that 2 weeks ago when Neil did ask you, 90 days. Yeah, I remember hearing that. I can't remember.
Quickly, could we have status reports? My favorite question, the landfill and the Green Street project.
Well, I would say, I think the more important thing is what we're going to do with the stockpile. I mean, we could say we're waiting for the DEC, but understand that trying to remediate that falls its own track.
Well, that's my question. Where are we with that? I mean, you were pretty clear the last time I raised the question that the village is looking to, is moving forward with trying to find someplace to accept it at a financially feasible arrangement. Where do we stand with that?
Well, if it was that easy, it would have been done years ago.
That would be easy.
Well, it didn't happen in 2 weeks.
It's been 5 years. It ain't easy,
And the landfill was there for 50 years.
Or better.
Yeah, or better, right? Yeah. So, it's as David said. We're still looking for spaces. One trucking outfit was nice enough, and they did find the space, but the cost was.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
The cost was, what was it, about $5 million to move it up there? $5 million to move it up there. So we are looking at options. We just want to see the most cost effective.
Is that the holdup at this point? Is the economics of it, or are there system design or process issues?
Well, I would say mostly economics. If somebody comes in tomorrow and say, we'll take it off your hands for nothing, well, that would be cheap, it's nothing compared to $5 million, So I think economic considerations are what we're looking at. We're trying to find the cheapest place for the taxpayers. Because that's what's going to ultimately have to pay for it.
Which obviously we all want to see.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. So we don't want to rush into something, we could have had it gone if we wanted to spend $5 million.
Has the state created any sort of a time frame or a deadline?
No, we're still waiting to hear from them.
So regarding deadline, no.
Green Street, I guess, is...
Green Street is still in front of the DOT for determination as to their acceptance or not of the connection into their storm drainage system. So we're waiting to hear from the DOT.
It sort of marginally connects to this, but along those lines, the recommendations that came out of that property holders and business owners along Greenwich the specifics that came out of, suggestions that came out of that meeting, involved going to the DOT for improvements along Greenwich. There were specific improvements. Has any forward movement taken place on that in terms of communication with the county or with the DOT?
Actually, not yet, Phil, but to remind you, as you may remember, there's another meeting tomorrow morning to continue that discussion with the business owners to get...
I was not aware of that. I was told that it was a 90-day...
No, when we were there last, we said that. It was
May 11th.
You were still there, I'm pretty sure.
Well, thank you for... I'm glad I raised it because I was unaware of that.
Thank you for reminding me. I was actually going to bring it up, but I had forgotten myself as well.
I thought they said 90 days.
9 a.m., correct? Yes. 9 a.m. The same place in Cumberland. I would go back and look at your tape. Pretty sure you were there. Could have shut the camera off by then, but I know we set the date right then and there.
That's good. Thank you.
One more?
Sure.
I think that they were motion sensors for the traffic lights down at the square that are on the aluminum poles. Are those still motion sensors, or were they motion sensors, or what are those? Are those motion sensors or cameras? Are they involved with the traffic light being changed, or?
Speed or?
Well, I noticed on the poles down at the square where the traffic light is, there are these things that look like cameras, and I had always assumed that they were motion sensors to change the lights. And then I've noticed, I think it was this past year, the DOT came in and it looks like they might have put some sort of triggering wire just underneath the blacktop to trigger the traffic lights. And I'm wondering, is that a redundancy? Are they still using the motion sensors? Are those motion sensors, or are those plate readers? Are they cameras? What are they? And who operates them?
I don't believe they're plate readers, and I don't believe they're cameras. You know?
Okay.
I'm wondering if it's just old technology that may have been sensors at one time, which now has been supplanted by newer technology, less pressure-related type of...
So that is, in fact, those were motion sensors?
That's what I'm believing them to be.
Okay.
That kind of begs the questions. Do we have cameras set up by the police department within the village? Are there any surveillance cameras?
Not that I am aware of.
Just in front of your house. Just another question. I forgot my serious question, so I'll ask a funny one instead. Actually, a recommendation, maybe...
We bought the alligators last week.
Did you? Okay. Well, I noticed that vacation season's coming up. Yeah, summer vacation, a lot of people get out of town. So I was thinking maybe if the village will issue a coffee can to each resident that's going on vacation, they could take a little bit of that stockpile with them.
Have to get the big coffee.
Would have to get DEC approval.
What do you think? You think they'd go along with that?
Maybe.
And I had another question. I can't remember what it was now, though. Thanks, though.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, we're going to need a motion to go in executive session. We will conduct no business when we finish executive session.
So moved.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry, may I? Was the village involved or contacted at all, or was there any relationship whatsoever with the attempted Times Square bombing? I mean, I understand that fireworks were secured up in Matamoros, and I'm wondering, if this is the fellow who did it that they caught, surely would have come up maybe the Taconic Parkway, Interstate 84, and Matamoros. He might have even stopped in Goshen for a cup of coffee or something. I'm curious, was the village contacted?
Connecticut, where he
What's that?
He lives in Connecticut, so that would be 84, I would imagine.
Was there any police contact, though? Commissioner of Police? Stewart?
No, that would be me.
Oh, sorry, that's right. Okay.
Not that I'm aware.
Sorry, man.
I don't believe very much.
No? Okay.
Okay, you need a motion to
Thank you.
executive session?
Second.
Okay.
Aye.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.